It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast Show. Happy Monday to you. And of course, it's time on a Monday for our Tech Digest with our tech expert, Bryan Smith. And after the big announcement at Google's I.O. conference last week, it seems like smartphones are slowly taking over almost every aspect of our lives. And this morning, we're looking at 3 ways that you'll be using your smartphone in the future that probably you haven't really considered quite yet. And it's both exciting, maybe scary.
A little bit terrifying.
A bit terrifying.
But that's the future.
It's the future. It's inevitable. All right, so let's talk about banking, because a lot of us use mobile banking on our smart devices. But in the future, we'll be transacting with not just banks and merchants, but with each other.
Definitely. There are 3 key ways I think this will come to bear in the future. The first, of course, looking at hardware, is NFC technology, which is near-field communications.
Yes.
That's essentially a chipset in most modern smartphones these days that allows people to transact and exchange packets of data through simply contacts. So tap and go if you've used that, let's say, on your credit card.
Yeah.
The second thing, of course, is that hardware manufacturers, software manufacturers are all creating payment standards such as Facebook Messenger. You can transact therein. And of course, we can't forget the impact of blockchain and cryptocurrencies, which are facilitating direct peer-to-peer transfers without the input of banks. So that's definitely something to look forward to in the future.
Safety always, for me, quite a concern, and the privacy elements of that, but I'm sure it'll be sorted out too. But with smartphones being the center of the smart home, we're already seeing the emergence of that as well. But how will this go further than where smartphones are essentially the center of the world?
Definitely. So smartphones have done one thing really, really well, and that's that despite their presence in an ecosystem, they've retained their popularity simply because they're so pocketable, so portable, and now so powerful.
Yes.
Looking into the future, we'll be using our smartphones as the hub of automation in our homes, perhaps even in our offices. If you look at smart devices, increasingly now appliances are coming up that are connected to the internet. Our smartphones, beyond the ambit of smart speakers, are really going to be our interface to not only controlling our home, but again, to the internet.
Yeah, and we saw that last week when we were talking about Google's new AI, or their Google Assistant that you were saying is going to be launching in August, where a call was made from a Google Assistant to book a haircut, and the person who received the call didn't even know that it was a robot calling. So how do you see the future of AI communication in our daily lives?
Well, if you haven't watched that clip yet, that's something you should definitely YouTube really quickly. And it poses a really interesting question in that we've used artificial intelligence really to handle some of the mundane qualities of our lives in our day-to-day, but we haven't really used that as a way to interface with other people yet.
Yes.
That's something I think was definitely highlighted at Google's conference, and it's definitely something we're going to be using in the future. I think the future will hold a reality in which we use artificial intelligence to handle sort of the everyday activities of our lives, leaving us to focus on the things that actually matter more to us.
Yeah, and these all sound like things that we are kind of dreaming up there in the future, but are they right now, or are we still facing a few hurdles, challenges in achieving this?
There are a few challenges. There are 2 that come to my mind immediately. The first, of course, is the cost of smartphones and smart devices themselves. Everyone wants the latest phone. Not everyone has 10 grand to go and spend on one. However, what's fortunate is that good smartphones are becoming cheaper, and cheaper smartphones are becoming better all the time.
Yeah.
The second thing, very unique to South Africans, of course, is the high cost of mobile data. But with recent regulations coming into play and new legislation that will govern that, with hope, we'll be able to access the internet for far cheaper in the future.
Yeah. Well, hopefully we'll see that future in the very, very near future. Thanks so much, Bryan. Always appreciate your knowledge and expertise. And of course, if you're looking for more exciting news to keep up with the world of technology, visit our website, expressoshow.com.